I be hoping you got something positive to say about me. You always say negative stuff about me. And I'm like, I ain't do nothing to you. No, I ain't seen nothing positive that you ever say. I do something positive every day. What up, Tony? Come on, Tony. What I do to you, Tony?
Picture this. You just carved up an NFL defense in your first real shot as a fifth-round rookie. The crowd's still buzzing, cameras are flashing, and everyone expects you to celebrate. Instead, you walk straight down that tunnel, find the loudest critic in the building, and ask him one simple question that changes everything. Why are you always so negative on me? That's exactly what Shedeur Sanders did after his breakout preseason performance, and what happened next exposed something much bigger than football. This wasn't just a rookie standing up to a critic. This was the moment Cleveland's quarterback narrative got flipped upside down, and I'm about to show you why this 30-second confrontation might have just changed the entire trajectory of the Browns season. What you just witnessed wasn't supposed to happen. Fifth-round picks don't usually command headlines. They don't typically walk into NFL buildings and immediately demand respect from veteran media members. And they certainly don't back up bold moves with the kind of performance that makes an entire city reconsider everything they thought they knew about their quarterback situation. But Shedeur Sanders isn't your typical fifth-round pick, and what unfolded in Cleveland last weekend was anything but typical. We're going to break down 3 crucial elements that made this moment so significant. First, the performance that gave him the credibility to make that statement. Second, the psychology behind why that tunnel confrontation hit so hard. And third, what this means for how we evaluate young quarterbacks in today's NFL. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this wasn't just a good preseason game. It was a masterclass in leadership, accountability, and changing narratives through pure execution. Here's what separates Shedeur Sanders from every other rookie quarterback story you've heard this year. When the lights got brightest, he didn't just play well, he played like he belonged. And I'm not talking about garbage time heroics or scripted first-drive success. I'm talking about 23 attempts, 138 yards through the air, 2 touchdown passes, and the kind of pocket presence that makes veteran coaches take notice. But those numbers only tell half the story. Watch the tape, and you'll see something that can't be taught in a classroom: timing. Every throw came out on rhythm. When his first read wasn't there, he didn't panic or force it. He reset his platform and found the throw he could live with. That's not rookie behavior, that's grown man quarterback play. On 3rd and short, instead of trying to be a hero with his arm, he put his shoulder down and moved the chains with a quarterback sneak. In the red zone, where young quarterbacks typically speed up their minds and make mistakes, he slowed everything down and made decisive, accurate throws. The most impressive part wasn't the highlight reel moments, it was the boring stuff that wins games. Pre-snap reads, protection adjustments, getting the offense in and out of plays based on defensive leverage. You could see the huddle responding differently when he was under center. Linemen jogging back with bounce, receivers tapping helmets, the kind of energy that spreads through a unit when they trust their quarterback. And here's the detail that should terrify other teams. This wasn't a fluke performance built on perfect protection and wide-open receivers. The pocket collapsed multiple times, and he climbed it cleanly without drifting into sacks. When coverage rotated post-snap, he didn't lock onto his first read. He worked through his progressions like a veteran. That tiny pocket shuffle that buys an extra half second? That's how you throw receivers open instead of waiting for them to get open. The red zone execution was particularly telling. 2 trips to the paint, 2 touchdowns, both on throws that required touch, timing, and trust. One was a contested window throw that demanded perfect ball placement. The other was a layered concept where he had to read multiple defenders and deliver the ball exactly where only his receiver could get it. These aren't throws you luck into, they're throws that come from hours of film study and the kind of field vision that can't be coached. What made this performance special wasn't just what he did, it was how he did it. No hero ball, no forcing throws into coverage, no panic when the play broke down. Just steady, professional quarterback play that looked like it belonged on a Sunday afternoon. And when the final whistle blew and the stat sheet was complete, he didn't chase cameras or celebrate with teammates. He had business to handle in that tunnel, and that business was about to change everything. That tunnel moment wasn't just good television, it was a psychological masterpiece that revealed everything about leadership, accountability, and how narratives get built and destroyed in professional sports. When Shedeur Sanders walked up to Tony Grossi and calmly asked, "You only say negative stuff about me," and I'm like, "I ain't do nothing to you," he wasn't throwing a tantrum or demanding praise. He was doing something far more powerful. He was holding the narrative accountable. Think about the psychology of that moment. Here's a rookie who just proved himself on the field, and instead of basking in the glory or avoiding confrontation, he chose to address the elephant in the room head-on. No shouting, no entourage, no theatrics, just a direct question that cut through months of coded language and forced an honest conversation. That takes a special kind of confidence, the kind that only comes from knowing your work speaks for itself. But here's what made it brilliant: the timing. He didn't have this conversation after a bad practice or during a media scrum where he might look defensive. He had it immediately after delivering the exact kind of performance that made criticism look foolish. The box score was still warm, the highlights were still fresh, and suddenly every negative take from the past month had to be reconsidered. That's not accident, that's strategy. The tone mattered just as much as the timing. He didn't try to embarrass Grossi or make him look bad. He asked a genuine question with a smile, creating space for an honest answer while making it clear that the old talking points weren't going to fly anymore. "What I do to you, Tony, wasn't an attack. It was an invitation to explain why performance on the field wasn't translating to fair coverage in the media." This moment exposed something deeper about how young quarterbacks, particularly black quarterbacks, get evaluated in the NFL. The language of temper expectations and pump the brakes sounds reasonable on the surface, but it creates a different standard where every good day becomes an asterisk and every sharp throw gets labeled as a PR clip. Shedeur wasn't just challenging one reporter, he was challenging an entire framework that treats caution as wisdom and skepticism as objectivity. The power of that confrontation lived in its simplicity. He didn't need to make a speech about fairness or respect. He just asked why the coverage didn't match the performance, and let the question hang in the air. That's leadership with a memory, remembering every slight, every dismissive comment, every time someone moved the goalposts when he cleared the bar they set. What happened next was predictable. The clip went viral, the conversation shifted, and suddenly the same people who spent weeks managing expectations were scrambling to manage their receipts. Because when you challenge someone to be as brave as you are, and you do it with a smile after backing up every word with performance, the only response is respect. That tunnel question didn't just change one relationship, it changed how an entire city talks about their quarterback. This entire situation reveals something crucial about how we evaluate young quarterbacks in today's NFL. And it's not just about Shedeur Sanders, it's about the systems and biases that shape every rookie's journey from draft day to starting lineup. What happened in Cleveland exposes the gap between what we say we want from young quarterbacks and how we actually treat them when they deliver it. The traditional evaluation process for rookie quarterbacks has become a moving target. First, it's about arm talent and college production. Then it's about learning the playbook and earning reps in practice. When they get those reps, it becomes about preseason performance. When they perform in preseason, suddenly it's just preseason and the real test is regular season action. But when they get regular season opportunities, the sample size is too small. The goalposts don't just move, they disappear entirely. Shedeur's situation perfectly illustrates this problem. All camp long, the narrative was about tempering expectations and being realistic about a fifth-round pick's chances. But when he delivered exactly the kind of performance that should shift that narrative, timing, poise, red zone execution, leadership, the response wasn't celebration, it was more caution. That's not evaluation, that's protection from being wrong about a prediction. Here's what makes this particularly problematic. The NFL is a results-driven business where quarterbacks are judged on their ability to move the chains, score points, and win games. Yet somehow, when a young quarterback does exactly that, we find reasons to discount it. The tape doesn't lie. Shedeur showed pocket presence, decision-making, and accuracy under pressure. Those skills don't care about draft position or preseason labels. The broader implications go beyond one player or one team. When we create different standards for different quarterbacks based on draft position, college pedigree, or other factors that have nothing to do with on-field performance, we're not being objective, we're being lazy. The best evaluators in the NFL don't care where you were drafted or what your last name is. They care about whether you can read coverage, deliver accurate passes, and lead an offense. What Shedeur did in that tunnel was force everyone to confront this reality. If the criticism was performance-based, then performance has to matter. If the standard is proving it on the field, then proving it on the field has to change the conversation. By asking that simple question, "Why are you always so negative on me?" He wasn't demanding praise, he was demanding consistency in how his work gets evaluated. This moment should change how we approach every young quarterback moving forward. Instead of hiding behind draft position or preseason disclaimers, let's evaluate what actually matters. Can they process information quickly, make accurate throws under pressure, and command respect in the huddle? Because if they can do those things, everything else is just noise. The NFL is about to find out if Shedeur Sanders can do it consistently, but Cleveland already knows one thing for certain. They have a quarterback who won't let his story be told without the scoreboard. And in a league where confidence and accountability matter as much as arm strength, that might be the most important quality of all. So here's what we learned from Shedeur Sanders' breakout moment. Sometimes the most powerful statement isn't what you say, it's when you say it and how you back it up. He didn't just have a good preseason game, he delivered a masterclass in how to change narratives through performance and accountability. That tunnel confrontation wasn't about one reporter or one critique, it was about establishing a new standard for how his work gets evaluated. And judging by the response from coaches, teammates, and yes, even critics, that standard is already taking hold. The question now isn't whether Shedeur can play quarterback in the NFL, it's whether the NFL is ready for a quarterback who demands the same honesty from others that he brings to his own game. What do you think about Shedeur's approach to handling criticism? Was he right to confront Tony Grossi directly, or should rookies stay quiet and let their play do the talking? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing different perspectives on these situations. And if you want to see more breakdowns of the mental side of football and how players handle pressure, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. In the next video, I'm diving into how veteran quarterbacks use media relationships to their advantage, and trust me, you won't want to miss those psychological tactics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.